As the brand new Prime Minister for Great Britain, Andrew Tate will leave a legacy of flawless something. What kind of legacy is it going to be, Andrew?
Flawless governance. And I will leave a legacy of flawless governance. Flawless governance. Beautiful. I will leave a legacy of flawless governance.
Flawless governance.
Flawless governance.
All right, we're going to take a couple minutes and talk about the controversy and cognitive dissonance swirling around this figure known as Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan. Apparently, Andrew wants to become the Prime Minister of Britain, and he wants to start the BRUV Party, which stands for Britain Restoring Underlying Values, a call to restore Britain. In a later video, I'll be talking about the points that he has here in his time-limited mission of accountability. But today, I want to talk about what Andrew Tate actually says in this video that is applauded by Elon Musk and a couple of other people on the internet who blindly follow Andrew Tate. And I just want to let me direct your attention to my X page. Don't believe what anybody else says about Andrew Tate. Just believe what Andrew Tate has said about Andrew Tate. Just like this guy right here says, the star witness for the prosecution in Andrew Tate's criminal case is Andrew Tate. Here's a course that he sold teaching the very human you-know-what techniques he's charged with using. And we're going to go over that later on in this video, but I do have several really good links for you to follow from Andrew Tate's own words. One of the best things that you can do in this day is to not believe what somebody says about another person, just believe what they have said about themselves. Now here's Andrew Tate to tell you why he should be the Prime Minister of Great Britain to lead the BRUV Party.
It is our intention to become political figures inside of the United Kingdom, and I will be aiming to be Prime Minister to fix the mess. And I want to make something clear to everybody who is watching this, especially the political establishment, which I know is watching this show right now. I am being absolutely serious. You are corrupt and you have failed people generationally. London should be the greatest city in the world. Great Britain was once the greatest place anyone could possibly live. We had a strong and proud people, and the generational failure that the constituents of the UK have been forced to endure is legendarily terrible. It's absolutely disgusting what has happened to that country, and it seems that nobody is interested in doing the things which must be done to fix it.
Now, if it hasn't become apparent to you already, he is reading from a script. He's going to mess up here in a second. He's going to have to be corrected by his brother Tristan. But these guys right here, if you just listen, you got to stick around and listen to what Andrew Tate thinks about women, how he's treated women in the past, and the businesses that he has operated, and the ethics or lack of ethics that he actually has.
Sometimes to be a bad guy, you have to be a bad guy. Sometimes you have to be an anti-hero. Tough decisions must be made. Firm, hard lines must be drawn. And I can't seem to find faith in any other political party which is truly interested in doing what is required. Therefore, I will do it myself. For everybody who is mocking this attempt for me to become the Prime Minister, please understand, I'm a wealthy person with 50 years of life left. The chance of me being Prime Minister, considering I was the most Googled man alive, sometime before I die, is actually very high. And I will leave a...
That's probably true, because if you look at Andrew Tate's account, he has millions upon millions of not just followers, but faithful followers. This guy has somehow honed his marketing practice and technique to such a point that an sex trafficking individual has the ability to hoodwink masses of brain-pickled lemmings.
Legacy of flawless governance. Flawless governance. Beautiful. I will leave a legacy of flawless governance. It is our...
Governance. Look at this. Watch.
Is actually...
He misread his lines.
Very high. And I will leave a legacy of flawless governance. Flawless governance. Beautiful. I will leave a legacy of flawless governance. It is our intention here to...
I will leave a legacy of flawless what? What is government? Governo and mentis, to control the mind or mind control. Govern, even if you want to pick words apart in the Latin about mente and what it actually means, it still means control. To govern means to control. Andrew Tate wants to be the controller. He wants to be the governor. He wants to lead a legacy. He wants to leave a legacy of governance.
Outline our plan for the Bruv Party and to explain to you our primary objectives, which we would implement as soon as we took power inside of the House of Commons. And once again, there's a lot of people who seem to think we're not serious and that we're playing games. This is not a game.
By the way, I don't care how rich this guy is. I don't care how rich Elon Musk appears to be, or Jeff Bezos, or anybody. The people who are calling the shots are the people that he will not outline in the Bruv Party. And that's the central bankers. The central bankers call the shots. The central bankers own the politicians. The central bankers own the presidents and the prime ministers. The central banks control and own everyone. Why? Because they have a monopoly on the creation, the issuance, and the value of the currency in the UK, the currency in Mexico, the currency in China, the currency in the United States. Until you address the banking interests, you cannot begin to tear down the corruptions in the halls of Congress or in the House of Commons or in the governor's seat in every state in the United States. It ain't going to happen. Why? Because the true criminals are getting away with murder every single day while no one talks about the true criminals, which is the central bankers.
And if you think back to the legacy of Andrew Tate since when you first heard of me, I want you to actually ask yourself a question. Have I ever lost? The Matrix attacked us in one of the most corrupt countries in the world.
Yeah, you have. You've lost your virtue. Let me just demonstrate that right here with this lawyer.
These are his words, not my words. And I'm not going to take it out of context.
You're effectively taking girls, teaching them how to make unlimited money from home, and then making sure they give it all to you.
So you're making sure that you're teaching girls how to make a ton of money. Right off the bat, he tells you his main goal is to have them work for him and him get all the money.
Then I realized I had about 5 girlfriends, all smoking hot, and females are an asset. Why don't you work for me so we spend more time together? Work for you doing what? So I'll have a webcam business. Oh, I don't want to do that. So, okay, I know you don't want to do that, but listen, come, let's have a meeting. Let's just talk about it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Fine. But let me explain it to you properly. In fact, I'll bring one of the girls who works for me. Your bottom bitch, the new girl, you go out for fucking a nice dinner. Your bottom bitch is the one who does the selling. You don't do the selling. The girl has to hear it from a girl. And this is where your bottom bitch has to be trained. That's why I said it's so important to have a good first girl.
Remember Ghislaine Maxwell? That was the girl that recruited for Jeffrey Epstein. Almost identical to what he's talking about here.
I had a separate...
That's actually a really, really good point. You have a girl welcome in other girls in your business. This is the guy who wants to be the prime minister of Great Britain.
Phone with all my girls' guys in that phone, and I kept control of it. Don't let your girl have this, because if your girl ever runs off and leaves you, you don't want her to have an address book of all the guys she can get money from.
Another aspect of control. You don't want her to have your client list, because if she has your client list, she can leave you. So you've got to restrict her information. It's a systematic method of control to control these women.
You want her to leave.
It's really interesting how this lawyer is breaking this down. It is a systematic method of control. What does Andrew Tate want to do now? He wants to control British policy. He wants to be the prime minister of the British people. He wants to be in the seat of nearly absolute control in Britain.
Well, I don't know the account. I don't have the password to the account. I've never set it up before. I don't know how the banking works. I don't have any of my guys' phone numbers. I have nothing. And that's why they don't want to leave. Because they're like, oh, well, he has everything. I need him. I have to stay with him. He has everything. It's important. I'm telling you, it's a very important element, that control.
It's a very important element, that control.
And they will leave if you don't have every aspect under control. Tax is also another important.
Every aspect of control.
And they will leave if you don't have every aspect under control.
He wants to control these girls 100%. This is a controlling individual. And when somebody wants to control you, whether it's against your will or for your will because you've been manipulated by the other bitch that he sent to go schmooze you during dinner, the bottom line is he wants control. Maybe he's got good intentions with this BRUV movement, the Britain Restoring Underlying Values movement, but good intentions will always be pleaded for every assumption of authority. He wants the authority. He wants the rulership. He wants to control an entire country. That is a dangerous human being. No matter why he says he's going to do it, Andrew Tate demonstrates that he lacks the capacity to be honest with his own soul. Besides that, he's following one of the great religions of the world. And how can you trust somebody who's given themselves over to an idea, to a belief system like
element for controlling your woman? You're not going to pay anybody tax because you're getting paid in Bitcoin. You need to tell your girl that you're paying the tax, because girls are lazy and girls are stupid and girls don't understand how taxes work. And you're like, oh, okay, yeah, we've made this much money, but I'm going to pay the tax to make sure we don't get in trouble. Now that allows you to do two things.
Broad brush statements like that are just stupid. Girls are lazy. Girls are stupid. Girls don't know how taxes work. Just to generalize like that really shows the, a lot of people would say IQ level, but I call it the virtuous level, the dishonesty scale. He's not being honest. This is completely disingenuous. This is not a virtuous man. This is not somebody who needs to be leading anybody. And he doesn't just want to lead Great Britain. He wants to rule it by being the prime minister.
One is another.
We're going to get back to this in a second. We're going to finish this off.
They lied about us and hit us with endless charges. They deleted me from everything, expecting me to go away. They took all of my money away. They've done everything they possibly could. Have the Tates ever failed, or have we always somehow ended up on top? And this is going to be another story. You guys are witnessing the birth of something which is going to revolutionize British politics. 3D chess game theory. My success, even if I do not become prime minister, will force the parties of the UK to address the issues they don't want to address. They'll be forced to discuss my point of view. They'll be forced to discuss the momentum that my party has managed to gather based purely on a message of competence and nationalistic policies.
And he probably will gain a wide following. There will probably be a lot of people signing up to this Bruv party. At the very end of it, he says there's this call to action. Let's rise again, join the party. And he's got a sign up form just waiting for anybody who believes his rhetoric.
They will be forced to discuss things that they've been trying to ignore for generations. And it is for this reason that truly I cannot fail. My endeavors will reward Great Britain, irregardless of the outcome of an election.
So Andrew Tate has a lot of experience in the area of control. He controls women. He believes women are stupid. Women don't have any understanding. And this guy wants the ring of power. If the problem with the world is that there are evil people doing evil things to other people, then the last thing that you want to do as a solution to that problem is give that evil person the ring of power. And Andrew Tate has shown himself time and time again with his own words what kind of person he actually is.
Control element.
See how that control is a recurring theme over and over and over again?
If I do it alone, I have to deal with taxes. Taxes are complicated. The control element.
And he doesn't have respect for these women at all because he thinks they're stupid.
It allows you to pay her a smaller percentage. So I used to pay my girls 30%. So for every $10,000.
He actually doesn't appear to have respect for anybody but Andrew Tate.
$1,000 they made, I'd give them $3 and I'd keep $7. They thought they were on 50%. And I said that the disparity is because of taxes. If they say, why is it 50-50? I'm the one who knows what he's doing. I'm the one with the knowledge. I'm the da-da-da-da-da-da. Shut the fuck up. Go online. Print out some tax forms. I used to do this all the time. I used to print out some random tax forms and say, yeah, sign here and sign this. What is it? It's for the tax. You want to pay the tax or not? Throw them away afterwards.
So he's admitting that he's lying to them as a mode of controlling them. Keep them ignorant. Keep them controlled.
They think something's happening. Something real's happening. Nothing's happening besides me getting rich, bitch.
Nothing's happening except for me getting rich, bitch. That's what he just said. So he's taking another 20% of what would have been their earnings, saying he's paying taxes, but he's not paying taxes. His words. That's fraud.
So let me just go back to Andrew Tate here. Samuel Adams said, the general dissolution of principles and morals will more surely overthrow the liberties of America than all the force of the common enemy. While the people are virtuous, they cannot be subdued. But once they lose their virtue, they'll surrender their liberties and themselves to the first external or internal invader. This guy right here wants to rule Great Britain, and he is as far from virtuous as you can possibly get. If you have any questions about that, I've got Andrew Tate in his own words telling you what kind of person he is if you question it. You don't have to believe me. You don't have to believe leftists or rightists who might be against him. You don't have to believe fake stream media. Just listen to Andrew Tate in his own words. I will leave the link to my X page in the description and in the pinned comment. Leave your thoughts about this. What do you think about Andrew Tate? In my next video about Andrew Tate, I will go over some of the highlights of the Bruv Party, which again is the Britain Restoring Underlying Values platform. And we're going to kind of go over the highlights. And I want to demonstrate to you what he leaves out, the glaring thing that he just happens to leave out of this entire document. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, share it with everybody you know. Don't forget to subscribe to my email list through my website, highimpactflix.com. If you haven't seen my latest video right here called Easily Control a Crowd of Normal People, based on Gustave Le Bon's The Crowd, a Study of the Popular Mind, I suggest that you take a look at it. If you watch it and you get something out of it, please share it. This is information that everybody must be exposed to if we're going to take the path of righteousness out of this quagmire we find ourselves in. I will see you in the next video.